So good afternoon everyone. My name is Maribeth Emonio from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Filipino 1A. So for today's video, I am going to discuss about gustatory art of the cuisine in lesson 5. So the points I am going to talk today is all about gustatory art of the cuisine, the definition, the techniques and style in food preparation. So, what comes into your mind when you hear the word gustatory art? Yes. Gustatory art of the cuisine, it refers to a type of art or appreciating beauty in terms of food. It can be called as food decorating or food plating. So, the art of food decorating, it is said that the eyes also eat. And so, it is very important to not only prepare dishes, but also decorate them, so they gladden both taste and eyes. Food decorating opens great opportunities for creativity and imagination. Okay, so there are 5 steps in designing the platter. So the first one is think and plan ahead. Yes, so in this step, make a sketch by dividing the tray into 6 or 8 sections or anything you want. This will help you lay out a balanced and symmetrical design. Mas mabuti talaga na pag-iisipan at pagplaplanuhan natin ang gagawin kasi nakakatulong ito sa atin to lay out a balanced and also symmetrical designs. And the sketch should indicate the centerpiece, slices of foods, and garnishes. So the second one is get movement into your design. So good design makes your eyes move across the platter, following the lines you have set up. It could be arranged in rows or lines. And the third one is make the garnish count. So use garnish to balance out the plate by providing additional element. 2 items on a plate often look unbalanced, but adding a garnish completes the picture. So on the other hand, do not add unnecessary garnishes. Okay, so the fourth one is give the design a focal point. So use centerpiece to emphasize and strengthen the design by giving it direction and height. And always remember that centerpiece is not always in the center. And the last one is keep it simple, because simplicity is more attractive than complicated designs. Okay, so let's move on. So in gustatory art of the cuisine, it can be also called as food plating or food decorating. So first, let's discuss the food plating. So in a restaurant setting, plating refers to the art of arranging, decorating, and presenting food in a way that improves its aesthetic appeal to the diner when served. So what does plating mean? So, plating is the term given to refer to the finished presentation of the plate of food. There is much consideration that must go into every aspect of preparation to successfully full of great plating, from the size of the components on the dish to the type of cut, to the color and consistency of sauce or toppings. So, there are 8 secrets to achieve a successful plating. So the first one is compose the plate as if it's a piece of art. So when a painter creates a piece of artwork, he or she considers the composition of the piece before putting brush to canvas. A chef is no different. He or she will consider the plate as if it is a blank canvas, thinking about what might fill in the space in an interesting way. So in some cases, it might be a minimalist approach, presenting components with plenty of white space around on a square or rectangular plate. Or it might be a perfectly rounded plate with a central focus. There's not one approach that is better than another. A chef will have a variety of different plating compositions for various menu items to keep things interesting. So the next one is get creative with color. So a splash of color can make a plate of food come to life. For instance, just like this picture, so a cut of meat presented alone could look a little too well earth tone if presented all by itself. However, the addition of vibrant greens not only adds a contrasting texture and flavor to the meal, but an appealing visual element to the plate itself. So the next one is consider the vessel. So in terms of plating, form meets function when it comes to the actual vessel employed for the food in question. First and foremost, a chef must choose a plate or bowl which works for a particular dish. For instance, just like these pictures, our spicy grilled octopus is served with fermented chili, crispy garlic, and marble potatoes. So, in this case, a swallow bowl works better than a flat plate. So, nakikita nyo, bowl po siya, hindi siya flat plate, as it gives the diner plenty of room to dig into every ingredient. Okay, so the next one is, don't make it too tall or wobbly. Sure, a sushi roll stacked sky high on a plate would look cool, just like this picture. But if we're stacked in such a way, it would be nonsensical. Servers would be prone to spilling it before delivering it to the table. If it didn't topple, chances are the diner wouldn't even know where or how to start eating. Chefs shouldn't become so obsessed with the idea of a dish looking cool that it sacrifices the quality of the actual eating experience. Okay, so the next one is employ contrasting textures. So a combination of textures on a plate adds excitement to the visual appeal of any dish. For example, our sushi rolls are often garnished on top with a contrasting ingredient to add not only an incredible flavor element, but also to add a visually appealing texture. So the next one is create a focal point or points. So using a striking visual element on the plate can help create a focal point for the eyes to settle upon. So just like this, the pattern, while the rich pink fish is undoubtedly beautiful, it acts more like a visual pattern on the plate. However, by adding tiny garnish atop each piece, just like this, all of a sudden the dish has plenty of visual intrigue. The eyes go right to these focal points, which draw the eye down to the beautiful fresh fish. It heightens the overall experience and makes the plate more interesting. So the second one is garnish with care. Yes, having a focal point or a splash of color via garnish can increase the visual appeal of a dish. However, garnishes must be chosen with care. Not only are they employed for visual appeal, but ideally they should work the flavors of the dish. For instance, while mint leaves might be lovely, they're not going to taste great on top of our wild mushroom and potato gnocchi. The flavor simply wouldn't make sense. And the last one is be consistent. When creating a style of plating a dish, a chef might experiment with a composition. However, once he or she has settled on a style of plating, it's important to be consistent in composing the dish in the same style from then on. Not only does this act as branding for the dish, but if someone loves it and orders it again, they'll be looking forward to the presentation they loved last time. So here are the examples. So let's watch this video about techniques and styles in food plating. Okay, so let's move on. So what is a garnish? So a garnish refers to a small amount of different food that makes a dish more visually appealing, and it is something that we use to decorate food and add flavor to a dish. So garnish also differ according to cultural of different cuisines. The type of garnish can also vary according to different dishes. For examples, desserts and sweets have garnishes like confetti candy, chocolate, caramel, sprinkles, sliced fruits and nuts, whereas garnishes for entrees and food include ingredients like lemon, spices, fried onions, herbs, and etc. So when adding a garnish, cooks consider how they will balance a dish and add to the aesthetics of the dish. For example, herbs. So, herbs are typically taken from plants with savory or aromatic properties. In addition to their uses in cuisine, they are also used for medicinal purposes or to create fragrances. We can also categorize herbs as culinary herbs and medicinal herbs. So, moreover, we usually use herbs in their fresh form, but some recipes require dried herbs. So, when using dried herbs, it is best to add them towards the end of cooking to maximize their flavor. And the next one is parsley. Parsley is a flowering plant species which belong to the carrot family. It is a biennial herb and produces a rosette of leaves 10 to 25 cm long with many 1 to 3 cm long leaflets. It has a taproot which is used as a food store. It is native to the Mediterranean countries but has become extensively naturalized in many parts of the world. It is considered as a highly aromatic and flavorful herb with cooking and medicinal uses. Curly leaf parsley is one of the most important food ingredients in Western and Asian cooking and also used as a food dish garnish. So the next one is basil. Basil is a culinary herb mainly used as a flavoring agent in various types of dishes in the world. Although it is originated in India, basil is mainly used in the Italian cuisine. People in Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia also incorporate basil into their cooking. Leaves of basil have a pungent and strong taste. So let's move on in food decorating. So decoration. So food decoration is something we use to decorate a dish. The main difference between garnish and decoration is that decoration is entirely a visual component. So it is something we use to decorate a dish. Decorations are mostly used in baked goods like cakes, cupcakes, and cake puffs, like for this example. So there are different cake decorative items in the market as glitter dust, beads, petal dust, shimmer powder, and etc. Some of these ingredients are not edible and should be removed before serving. Therefore, it's always important to check the labels of food decorations before using them. However, some decorations may be labeled as non-toxic, but this doesn't mean that they are suitable for consumption. Besides, we can also consider cake toppers and cake figurines as food decorations. Some of these may be made with fondant and are edible, but some cake toppers are not made with edible materials. Okay, so the differences between garnish and decoration. So, garnish is usually a food item that we use to decorate a food, while decoration is some artificial substance we use to decorate a dish. So, in consumption, garnishes are mostly edible, while decorations may not be edible. In flavors, garnishes enhance the flavor of the dish, while decorations only have a visual function and they don't enhance the flavor. So, in toxic, garnishes are not toxic as they are edible. However, some decorations may be toxic to humans. Okay, so let's watch this video on techniques and styles in food decorating. Okay, so we experience our food with our senses even before we taste it. So as one of our senses, sight and the visual appeal of food have a tremendous impact on the enjoyment we experience when eating and dining out. So if the food looks appetizing, you're more likely to want to try it and enjoy it when you do. Okay, so these pictures are the example of food decorating. So, kinuha ko po ang picture na to sa kaibigan ko po na nag-aaral sa Davao Oriental State University sa kursong Humanities Management 1C. So ang ingredients na ginamit nila is carrots, cucumber, apple, and tomatoes. So, Apple is for couple swan. Cucumber is for any type of shape design. Tomatoes is for making rose or any type of flower. And the utensils they use is chopping board, peeler, and knife. And plates also for final plating and final presentation of their output or activity. So conclusion. So the main difference between garnish and decoration is their function. Decorations purely have a visual function, while garnishes have both a visual as well as gustatory function. So garnishes are mostly edible, while decorations are not edible. So moreover, garnishes enhance the flavor of the dish, but decorations do not. So if you want to know more about gustatory art of the cuisine, feel free to visit this website po. Okay, so dun lang po na nagtatapos. So I hope you learned something from me.